And we are live.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Victoria Williams, and welcome to our second Connecting the Community and More with District 4. And tonight we have some people with some very valuable information. We're talking about safety in the schools, health and well-being, and we have can you put the agenda up, please? I can show you all who we all have. For District 4 highlights, we have Ms. Shakira Rice from North Clayton Middle School. And then for community updates, we have Ms. Commissioner Gail Hambrick. And from the Clayton Center for Mental Health, we have Dr. Lee Adams. And we have a student also that will present. And then from the Clayton County Police, some safety in schools, we have Chief Trawick. And from the PTA, we have Ms. Arvis Walker. And then if you have any questions or anything, you can put them in the chat as we go through. And if we have time at the end, we'll do question and answers. And we also have a Spanish interpreter available. Ms. Gabasol Kudos. There's a interpreter button at the bottom of the page. You can click on that for Spanish if you need interpretation. And we also have Ms. Sherry Ann Taylor present. She's the director of the Student Health and Wellbeing for the county. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat and we'll answer them, please. And let's get started. Is Ms. Rice available?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here.
How you doing, Ms. Rice?
High School. Hi, Ms. Williams. How are you?
All right. You're ready to begin.
Yes, ma'am. I am going inside the Miss now. Okay. Sorry that Ms. Williams, our bus pulled up here to Monday's Mill High School for our championship game.
Yay!
Go Tigers! Yay. A couple of some highlights for the Notable North. We like to call ourselves the Notable North. We consist of course, the high school, North Clayton High School, North Clayton Middle School. We have Oliver Elementary, West Clayton Elementary, King Elementary, and Northcutt. So just some things about our north side, because we do realize that our population is a lot of times transient. We have families moving in and out. According to the United Way, I'm sorry about that. According to the United Way, our zip code area is one of the most transient areas within the metro area. So we're a little different when it comes to our parents and to our scholars at our schools. We have to make sure that we're not only educating our scholars, but we are also helping to make sure we meet the needs of the families as well. So just a couple of things about what's going on in the Notable North. At Oliver Elementary, we have 3 finalists who are in the science fair, and they are actually going to the regional competition we had a scholar at Oliver placed 8th in the Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl. The Junior Beta Club conducted a toy drive, and they were also a finalist in the PBIS district competition. And Dr. Radcliffe keeps the stock market game going. That was established at Oliver years ago. And Dr. Radcliffe makes sure that she continues those efforts at Oliver. At West Clayton, there's a few things that are going on. Of course, they were recognized again for PBIS Tier 2, one of the top 10 schools that showed growth in 1920. We have 5 scholars to participate in the state honors chorus, 2 students to finish in top 3 Clayton County Science Fair, and finish in the top 6 in the Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl this year. And this is also an integrated art school for math. We are moving in that direction as well. So of course, and then at King Elementary, we had, I believe Dr. Jackson said it was about 3 scholars who were in for the reading competition that was held for the district as well. And just great things that happen there at Northcutt. We also had some scholars in the math competition to win like in the top 5 at their school. They're also integrating STEM in their school as well. So that's just a little bit about what's going on the north side of town for the Notable North. And we're just here to serve our families. And as I speak standing on the shoulders of 6 other principals who are leading the efforts in the Notable North. So we're always here to serve the needs of our community.
Thank you, Ms. Rice.
Thank you.
So you have to get back to your game, so I wanted to let you go ahead and do your speak first.
Yes,
Okay.
and we are playing a championship basketball game, so we're hoping to bring that banner
Congratulations.
home to the north side.
Yay! All right. Okay.
Thank you
Ms.
so much
Starr,
for all the support, Ms. Williams. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Can you go back to the other screen? I'm gonna start where I left off at. I'll try to let Ms. Rice go ahead and so she can get to the championship game so we can win. Okay. So here's a list of our other board members we have. I'm one of 9, so it's not a board unless all 9 of us make the decision. So these are the rest of our board members. You know, for District 1 is Ms. Bowles. You know, District 2 is Mark Christmas. District 3 is Ms. Jessie. District 4 is me, of course. District 5, can you go back, Shantara, please? District 5 is Dr. D. Haney. Then District 6 is Miss Mary Baker. District 7 is Miss Sabrina Hill. 8 is Miss, what is, I can't see, hold on. Oh, Miss Joy, and then 9 is Mr. Benjamin Straker. Next slide. And then these are a list of the schools that I have right now, but we're doing some voter redistricting, so I will have Drew High School added on to this list also. So that'll make 16 schools. Next slide, please. And my vision includes programs and practices that would improve literacy and every child reading at or above reading level. I believe that if the kid can read, then they can pretty much do anything. But if you can't read, it's kind of hard to do math, science, anything else. If you know not on a reading level, it's hard to get anything else done without that. And I believe the way to improve the home school is with community partnership and increasing parents and engagement in all schools. It takes everybody, it takes a village to raise a kid. So our next speaker will be Ms. Gail Hambrick, Commissioner from District 2. Ms. Hambrick?
Yes, Ms. Williams, thank you. And for the other people on, let me say this. When I received the invitation, I thought you were having a community meeting with parents and all community people and all. So whatever I need to do, I'll do it. But I just did not have a clear understanding of what type of meeting this would be.
It's just to give a like an update or information to the people in the area. Like the things you have going on for your area, and then some resources that's out there.
Okay, right now I don't have anything going on. Several weeks ago, Representative Yasmin Neal and I had a vaccination drive up at Fountain of Faith Baptist Church and all, but right now I don't have anything going on. Hopefully I can have the annual, what used to be annual until the pandemic, annual back to school activities and all up at Flat Shoals Park, but I'm not sure about this year's according to how the numbers go and all. And let me say this for the school board and all, I am so glad that you all still have the mask mandate in place. I'm not sure if it's a mandate or not, but I'm just glad that the kids are still wearing their mask and all. I know I send mine with my grandkids to school with the mask and all. Something that was mentioned on Tuesday night at our work session is that we are planning to have an Amnesty Day, which is a day where people can, in the different districts, in the different commission districts, can bring their trash to a location, and we will get rid of that trash for them at no charge. So people have been asking that in several of my meetings from time to time. Definitely before the pandemic, when we were meeting face to face. Right now, I'm still meeting either Zoom or outside meetings. We have not had any inside face-to-face meetings as of today. We have not. So hopefully we can get that started back in the spring. I can't think of anything else. I'm just trying to, had I known the type of meeting this would be, if I think of something else as the meeting goes on, I will ask you, if you will refer back to me, that's okay.
Okay, or not, you can type something in the chat if you forget something, you want to put some information in there. Then they can see that, or we can relate it from there. Thank you.
Okay,
Ms.
yeah, let me
Gail.
ask you this, because I signed on a minute or two later. Do we have any people from the community or just professionals on board?
No, it's just people from the community on here, and we live streaming on Facebook and on our page.
Okay, well, in case they have some questions for me too, let me know.
Yeah, I told them to put all the questions in the chat, and then we have time at the end, we'll answer the questions. Or you can look through there if any questions for you, can answer them as we're going on.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind.
Okay, now I do have a 6:30 Zoom meeting with one of my communities in all the Cedar Woods area. So if we are still on, then I may have to, bow out.
Now, hopefully we'll be finished by then, but thank you.
Okay, all right. And thank you all.
You're welcome. Next on our list is, who we have next? Next is Dr. Lee Adams from the Clayton Center.
All right, good evening, everyone. And again, thank you, Ms. Williams, for inviting me. This is definitely a pleasure, and I'm always excited to speak on behalf of Clayton Center. We are the mental health, behavioral health, developmental disabilities, and substance use providers. I would say the premier in Clayton County. There are other providers, but what makes us different is that we are the safety net providers for the state. So that means that we serve the underserved as well as the underinsured in the county. A lot of other providers, with insurance, but we do have resources that can assist you. We have a variety of areas to assist. We serve parents, we serve children, we serve those with substance use disorders. Some new initiatives that we have going on right now. Right now, we are working with the Perry Learning Center to begin an initiative there that will speak to the substance use issues. That is one of the groups that the state does target. We are working with trying to assist those young people with recovery. We're still building that model, but we are starting that collaboration so that we will have a therapist that will go over to provide services at the Perry Learning Center, so the students will be available on site. And also, one of the other things that we've really been working towards is with the pandemic, the challenge has been a lot with face-to-face. However, we're considered like hospitals and clinics. We don't get to close down. We are an essential provider, so we must provide services. So most of our services are still available. However, we do have situations where we know parents and students sometimes are not able to come out. So we do have some telehealth options available. The biggest issue we've run into with the telehealth options have been workforce challenges. But I'm pleased to announce we are right now currently onboarding some clinicians that's going to be working with us to give some more flexible hours, because we know I've been a parent. I'm still a parent, but my children are grown now. So now I'm dealing with the grandchildren. But understanding from that parental aspect, you can't always get there before 5 o'clock. So we're trying to open some services that will be after hours, even if it's telehealth for parents that have issues with children that they need to get addressed. Our primary location for children is at 1396 South Lake Plaza Drive. That's located in Morrow over by the Cracker Barrel. And we provide a variety of services for our youth at that center. We do assessments, we do individual counseling, we have some group counselings available. Unique thing about us, we're also a part of the process for Clayton County. So under the district attorney, Tasha Mosley, we work with all of the entities in the county to make sure that we provide safety net services. I mean, we work with the police departments, we work with the courts, we work with the hospital, we work in every area, the Rainbow House, DFACS, and also we pretty much We support each other with the children. So one of the things I've been working with Ms. Jones over at Rainbow House this week, we're doing another linkage, and we're ramping up our services for students that have been involved or youth that have been involved in sexual exploitation, working to get some kind of treatment there. That's becoming a very growing need here in Clayton County, and trying to recruit therapists with some sexual trauma background to assist also with children in that area. We also work with Clayton County Public Schools under Miss Taylor's, Williams Taylor, is it Williams? Dr. Taylor, Miss Taylor, I always want to call her doctor, but we work with her office. We work through the Apex program, and I actually work with a couple of schools in your area, District 4, that would be Northcutt, I think it's Northcutt Elementary and North Clayton Middle. We used to be with the high school. We keep changing up, but those are two that we provide services for that are within your district. We have some other schools in Clayton County, but the Apex program is a program that initially the governor started that would actually see a comment there. Somebody said, well, she said for the mental center, I don't have. Oh, okay, Alicia Trotman. Okay, Ms. Trotman, I'm gonna type in my email address. So if you want to send me a contact and we can follow up offline. Okay, all right. Hopefully I got it. It should be lee.adams@claytoncenter.org. But also with the Apex program, we're here to meet the needs of students. It has been, I want to just commend Clayton County Public Schools, Dr. Beasley and the entire staff, all the efforts that have been done in the board, with all the effort that has been done to keep students safe. It has, had a little impact with us being able to do a lot of the services because we haven't been able to get in school as much, but we do understand, because safety is first, but we still continue to work. Does she pronounce her name? Stasha Cooper? Stacia, okay, Stasha Cooper. All right, so Ms. Cooper and her staff, we still work with them on our Apex modules to provide those services. So Clayton County School is on the right track. We want to also I know that we have the Hispanic interpreter online. We do provide services for bilinguals or persons that need interpreters. The only thing that we do ask, if you do need an interpreter, that you let us know in advance, and then we can go ahead and make sure we have the interpreter available. We do have a few bilingual staff at the child and adolescent site, but if they're in a session or they're actually conducting a group, they may not be able to come out and speak. So that's why we try to get it scheduled if we can, so that we can make sure that we try to make it a seamless process. And, when parents and children come in crisis, the last thing we want to do is add an additional crisis. So we try to make it as helpful as possible. Also, we have our Paula Crane Life Enrichment Center that's located at 1792 Mount Zion Road. I always tell people that's one of the best kept secrets in Clayton County. It is our recovery center. The services are free. You do not have to, you don't even have to give your name. You can go in and participate anonymous. We have all kinds of groups that we perform there. Our schedule, if you go to their website is the Crane, crane.org. And if you go there, you can click on a variety of activities. Like right now, what they kind of have going on for the events for this month. They are doing a lot of things centered around Black history. For this particular week coming up, today they had Zumba and line dancing, which is a part of helping with stress release. And I know it sounds like, they're just having fun, but that's very important to mental health and also to recovery. They do full cardio workout at 1 o'clock. We also do GED training. It is, there's no cost. They only have to do is go sign up. They have to take the test, be consistent with the modules. We have staff that work with that process. We offer nutrition classes there. We do all kinds of groups. We have Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, 12-step programs. There's a lot of meetings. We do AA meetings there. We have Double Trouble, which is another group that assists with recovery. We also at that site offer Hep C testing and HIV testing. There's just a variety and plethora of services that are available to the community in Clayton County that a lot of times, people just don't know that it's there. Or you pass by it and say, what's going on in that building? Those are all the things that are going on. You do have to sign in, but you don't even have to really give your real name. You can use a pseudo name. The only thing the state wants us to do is track the number of people that we are serving at that site. So there's a lot of information there. We have services for our adults. The primary point of entry site for our adults is at 853 Battle Creek Road. That is located behind the Battle Creek Library, right across from DFAX. We're on the other side of the parking lot, and that's where all of our adults that come in for service present for their initial appointments, their assessments. They come in, they can get screened for whether at that point, if you're not sure what you need, the therapist and the intake person will work through it. We perform a biopsychosocial assessment. From there, they make a determination of what your needs might be, and then they'll refer you into the various programs. Then you'll get seen by a psychiatrist, one of our licensed psychiatrists, or one of our licensed nurse practitioners that are also trained in behavioral health, substance use, and then they'll set you up what we call a treatment plan. The goal is to help work back towards resiliency. So that's just kind of a big overview of some of the things we have going on there. We also provide services for those with developmental disabilities. Our developmental disability program is a little bit different because that similar in the school system, like, with some diagnoses, the children they must have been diagnosed by the age of 3 in the state of Georgia to qualify for that program. But we provide services for many of our individuals in our community that are moved into adulthood, that some of them come through the school system, and then after they graduate, they still need additional services. We provide those at the 217 Stockbridge Road. You can find information about all of our services at www.claytoncenter.org. and just click on services. There's a variety of things there. It'll tell you if you're coming in, what days to come on, what items you need to bring. We are not, some people think we're a free service. We're not free, but we are. We do operate under contracts with the state. So primarily the biggest things that our individuals have to do, I always tell people to be prepared for that first session. When you come in, you will probably be with us at least an hour or two. From that, when you come back, after you begin to come through your appointments for your sessions and counseling, it'll be scheduled right on time. So sometimes you may have a 5 or 10 minute delay because we know life happens. But for those initial appointments, you do have to go through that assessment process. We do have to take your identification because on that side, we do have to, since we're going to ask the state to pay for those services that you came into, we have to make sure we run it through GAMIS, make sure there is no other insurance provider out there because we can serve if you have your own insurance, but it is limited in some areas. So that's pretty much it. And I think Ms. Williams, you can just let them know. Ms. Williams knows how to get in touch with me. Although, you can
put it in the chat box, Dr. Lee,
okay,
if you don't mind.
All right, and you got bragging rights to her as y'all board member, but she's one of our board members here as well. So we appreciate all the great work she's doing.
Thank you for all that valuable information. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of information, it was a lot. I didn't even know we had that much stuff going on over there. So I'm impressed all over again.
Thank you.
That was great information. Thank you, Dr. Adams.
You're welcome.
Next is Jayla Lawrence on. Yes, Shantara. Jayla Lawrence, are you on here? Okay. Guess we'll go to Chief Trawick with our Safety and Security. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and thank you, Ms. Williams, for having me. It's definitely an honor to have an opportunity to speak to my colleagues and the people out in the community. I really appreciate the opportunity. I want to start by speaking of some challenges that are occurring, not just in Clayton County, not just in Metro Atlanta, but they're happening nationally. And I'm sure some of the parents have some major concerns, and those concerns are the threats that we're receiving in schools. Here recently, it spilled over not just from K-12, now it's impacting HBCUs to the point to where, if you all have been monitoring the news, the vice president was visiting an elementary school in DC, and he wasn't there 5 minutes and they had to escort him out of the school. So what I want you all to know is that through our collaboration with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, as well as our municipal partners, we have been able to, even though we can't stop the threats, we have been able to use technology to track those threats all the way back to the origin of where they came from. So I think because of our ability to do that, and the fact that students are talking about the fact that we have the ability to track back to the individuals who are making those threats and make those home visits, I think we're seeing a bit of a decline in some of our threats, even though this week we had 5 schools that were impacted by threats. But what I want the parents to know is that we have mechanisms in place to immediately respond. And one of the things that we do when we receive a threat, we increase the resources at those schools. We want to make sure, while we're doing the internal investigation to discover who made the threats, we're doing checks at the schools, we're increasing our presence to ensure that we have the resources there. We also have mechanisms in our schools, such as the crisis alert system. And the crisis alert system is a bit of technology and hardware that gives us an opportunity to make notifications to the schools to let them know if we have a crisis, not just an active shooter crisis. It could be a weather emergency, a medical emergency, so on and so forth. But this is a tool so that if we need to, we can lock the school down, let everybody know, and provide updates while we're doing so. And the system is set up in a manner in which it's audible and it's visual. And what I mean by that is throughout the schools, interior and exterior, we have beacons. So if we have an emergency, it's color coded, and it also provides messages and takes over the laptops and the monitors throughout the school to apprise everyone of whatever the situation may be. So I wanted to comment on that because I'm sure we have parents out there who are a bit disturbed, do not like the fact that we have these disruptions with the threats. But I want all of you all to know that we're expeditious in our processes and protocols. We activate them immediately upon discovering a threat, and we want to do everything we can to keep our students safe. And speaking of that, I'm most grateful and most happy about the collaboration that we have with student services. As you all know, since the pandemic started, we've had a significant increase, and this goes over to Dr. Lee Adams' preview. We've had an increase with mental health challenges. And we have some technology that gives us an opportunity to intervene and receive messages to let us know when we have a student in crisis. And I want to say, with the assistance from Ms. Taylor and her team, we're able to go out and make home visits. And not only make the home visits, but when we get there, conduct a thorough assessment of the students' needs and provide those wraparound services to get those students help. And I would say that because of our collaborative efforts, we have interceded on a lot of, I would say, hundreds of potential suicides in the district, just based on the collaboration of us identifying a student who has potential, who may be in a potential crisis, by a law enforcement officer. And what I love about this is we're not there in a threatening way. We're there to provide the services, because I always say, I don't want our students running from us when we have a crisis. I want them to run to us. It's not us against them, it's us with and for them. So I think with this in place, it has been significant with the reduction of suicides, because, and I saw Ms. Taylor nodding her head in agreement, I think without this collaborative effort and then working with people like Dr. Adams, we might have lost significantly more students without having this collaboration. So kudos for the work that we're doing. And also I want to encourage anyone who's listening to download our mobile app. We have a See Something, Say Something mobile app, a tip line. And 2 weeks ago, we received some information from a student who was anonymous, but provided us with some information for another student who was in a crisis. And we were able to intercede with that situation as well through our tip line. So I encourage everyone who's listening, if you see something, say something. You know, we say it all the time, but I really want people to let us know if you have a situation where someone's being bullied. You don't have to stay in a silo and accept that. You can provide us with the information. We will allow you to be anonymous, but we will also put the resources in place so that we can mitigate those crises or those situations. So I'm going to stop there because there are quite a few other people. I can go on and on and on about what safety and security is doing. And Ms. Williams will probably have to tell me, Chief, that's enough now. You can let somebody else speak. So I'm going to stop here. And if we have any other questions, please don't hesitate when we get to the question and answer section. Again, Ms. Williams, thank you for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. I know you could go on and on, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, if you have any questions, put the questions in the chat and we can go through and answer them at the end of the session if we have time. And we're going to go back to our student, Jayla Lawrence. Are you on?
Yeah, I'm here now. I was joined as an I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm the Student Government Association representative for North Clayton High School. I was asked to speak on safety and security and our mental and health wellness and how we can develop that. So for the safety and security, I think there are like multiple ways that Clayton County itself can go about protecting our students, as far as monitoring outside activities. Just watching the news and monitoring issues and things going outside of the school alone can really help and prevent things from entering the school. I think they could tighten security, and that can go as far as hiring security officers and making sure that there are certain times where doors are locked, making sure there's a regular occurrence where school addresses happen. And I think that administrators and principals can talk to students about what to do and how to handle things when situations do occur in our schools. Just consistent school inspections and school addresses to our students and faculty could really help have things run smoothly during certain situations. Making sure the doors are locked, like I said, planning for safety, and just making sure that everyone is all on one accord could really help the situation. As far as mental health and wellness, I also think there are like a million different routes you can go with that. I don't know if a lot of people know, but I do know, me personally, I've seen it, I see it a lot now. Depression and mental health issues are as high as they've ever been in teenagers themselves. And so just having counselors talk to students and checking in with kids could really help. Not only checking in with students that act out, but checking in with students that are quiet, because 9 times out of 10, I've seen it a lot, and 9 times out of 10, the quiet children, the ones that don't speak up, are the ones that need the most help. And it's important that counselors show that attention to all students. And I think that maybe like regular monthly check-in with students could help. Having students make an appointment with a counselor if they needed it, making it anonymous, just talking to their counselor could really help. As far as just going into their office and talking about it, there are so many different things that go on as a teenager, and I experienced it personally. As a teenager, you go through a lot, especially in high school, and it can be a lot on your mental health, and it can affect you in a really great way. And just knowing that you have somebody outside of your family that you can talk to and go to, that's not necessarily trying to get anything from you, but they just want to help you, that could really help you as a teenager, just knowing you have somebody you can talk to. Because high school itself, on top of the pandemic, on top of peer pressure, on top of everything you have going on, trying to make sure you get good grades and trying to get into college and everything, especially because I'm a senior and I understand it's the most stressful year in my life, everything, just trying to juggle all of that on top of having friends and having a life outside of high school, it can be a lot on a teenager. And you just want to make sure that you're able to get some of that stuff off your chest and make sure you're able to have somebody you can talk to. So like I said, I just think having counselors talk to students maybe on a monthly or a weekly basis, or having appointments where they can check in with students would really help, as far as making sure that we don't have any suicide or depression things, and just making sure that those issues go down, because they're, like I said, they're as high as they've ever been. And so those are just the kind of things that I think can help as far as safety and security and mental health issues.
So Jayla, your mom is on watching via YouTube. So she just posted on our YouTube live stream. She said, "I'm so proud of my daughter. And I just want you to know that I'm listening, and I see the whole entire panel. We all are so very proud of you. And I just want to let you know, I know you're the SGA student leader, but Miss Victoria Williams will be retiring in some years, and I want to see you on the school board advocating for taking Miss Williams' spot in about 10, 15 years.
After you finish college, of course.
Mhm.
But thank you, Jayla. That was some good information. It's nice to hear from, what the children need, what the students think we need or what we're doing. So that's, it can't always be just what the adults think. Sometimes we need to take some advice with the people that's down there, which is you, because you're a teenager now, you're still going through it.
Mhm.
We understand. So thank you for the acknowledgement.
Thank you.
All right, next, I think we have our PTA representative. We'll talk about how ways that we, is that right? Okay. Miss Arvis Walker, our Clayton Council PTA President. Talk about parents getting more involved and engaged, student-parent participation at the schools. Ms. Walker.
Thank you so much, Ms. Victoria Williams, for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to see all of the handsome and beautiful faces. But my name is Ms. Arvis Walker, and I am the newly elected Clayton Council PTA President. So just tell you a little bit, I've been the president over at Forest Park High School. I was the president over at Forest Park High School from 2016 until 2022, and I retired. And we did some wonderful things over there. So I'm totally excited. Since then, I was the assistant district director for Clayton County for a little bit of period. And then Ms. Sid Cox, she retired. And then, so that's how I got into this position. I'm so excited because I'm just working with Ms. Victoria. We just want to see the parents get more involved and let them know that their voices are so important, just to get involved and know that even as the students get into high school, that's how my husband and I got involved when our son was in high school, and it made the world of a difference. And just parents, we just want you guys to know that your voices matter. And being a part of the PTA stands for Parent Teacher Association. And when you come into high school, the students can be involved and get on the boards. So that's where the Parent Teacher Student Association, PTSA, comes in. So what my goal is just to find ways and means, and just like I'm doing right now, partnering with board members and things of that nature to find out what the parents need from the PTA perspective. And I want to just give you guys some quick references as to the purpose and objectives of the PTA. The PTA, we're not a bank. We're not the bank for the schools. That's not our objective. What we're here for is to promote the welfare of children and youth in home, schools, places of worship, and throughout the community, to raise the standards of home life, to advocate for laws that further the education, physical, and mental welfare and safety of our children and youth, to promote and collaborate with engagement throughout the community. That's just some of our purposes, and that's what I'm here for. I want to tell you guys about 2 dates that we have coming up. We have a PTA at the Capitol, which we, as a Forest Park PTA President, we used to take just to expose. You want to expose our students, such as Jayla, and you did a phenomenal, you just gave me chills. You did a phenomenal job. You spoke so well. I'm smiling because of you. I'm so proud of you. But just to expose them to different things, we would take them down there, and you would think that as being a high school student, that they would say, "Oh, I've been to the Capitol before." We had many students that had never been to that Gold Dome before, and to be exposed to that type of legislation and things like that. So that's what we're here for. We have PTA at the Capitol on March the 22nd, and then we have a District 7 because we are one council in District 7. District 7 is composed of many different counties. I'm just a part of District 7, which is the Clayton part over the Clayton County. So we're having a district spring meeting, spring conference on March the 22nd. That will be, and everything will be sent out to everyone. So that's going to be announced to see whether it's just going to be on Zoom or if it's going to be hybrid. We're not sure yet. But I just wanted you guys to put March the 27th, that's PTA at the Capitol. March the 26th, that's our district meeting. I want to hear, our district leader, he wants to hear, how can we help you all? And what we're here to do is to rebuild. We've lost because of, I know people are getting kind of tired of hearing because of COVID, but it is, guys. It's because of COVID, we've lost so many connections. So as your Clayton County Council President, I want to get back in to see where everyone is. I will, Victoria, if that's okay with you, put my email, my phone number, so that I can find out. We need to get these PTAs back up and running and doing the things that we are here to do in the schools. So I will put my email address. I can give you my phone number because I need you guys to reach out to me so that I can find out what we need, where we are, and I will be doing some training as well. But thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you for your time. You're doing an amazing job, and thanks for everyone for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Ms. Walker. We have a few minutes if anyone has any questions. Did you have any questions, Shantara, that was sent in?
So yes, ma'am, we have a Facebook question from Mr. Marlon D. Brown, and that question is for Commissioner Hambrick. Commissioner Hambrick, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'll read the question. It says, my question is for Commissioner Hambrick. If she might be able to speak for the county and commission board, what plans, if any, is there for the county to become a more child pedestrian community, friendly with sidewalks, bike lanes, and the such? With so many kids and the existence of MARTA in Clayton County, we seem to be behind in our neighborhood and major arteries throughout the county.
Okay, there are plans for sidewalks. As a matter of fact, every new development that comes in, that's part of our zoning, is to provide sidewalks for each of those locations. We are working with MARTA to provide sidewalks for all of the stops, for the bus stops and all those routes. Those are in place. And we have passed in our SPLOST, I'm not sure if it was the last SPLOST or not, to provide sidewalks for different locations. Several months ago, we had a question answer kind of thing on our website and all regarding sidewalks for people to send in information. If you wanted a sidewalk, sidewalks in a specific location, that you could send that recommendation in, and we, if it's on our SPLOS list or whatever, we start working on that and all. But we need to know where those sidewalks are requested, of what locations that you like to see. We don't have that kind of money to just put sidewalks everywhere. Let me just say that. So we do have to provide certain locations within the budget of the county, because the minute we start trying to do so many things, then of course taxes, we don't want taxes to go up, number one. And sidewalks are expensive and all. So if we know where a sidewalk is wanted or requested, we'll definitely put it on the list if it's not already on our SPLOS list. But we have quite a few locations that have already been requested, have already been passed in the SPLOS and all. So if that person will contact me, I'll be glad to let them know, or if they have a request. But we cannot right now put them all through the county. But we do have a request list that we are working on, will be working on. That kind of work is not done during the winter months and all. Paving and those kind of things are done when the weather is warmer. So I'm sure you all will be seeing, that person that sent the question in will be seeing some work done on sidewalks when the spring of the year comes. Did that answer it, or?
Yes, he responded back. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. And we have another question. And this question is from Miss Cassandra Ingram. And she said, are we testing student athletes for COVID? If not, how can a provider contract with CCPS?
I know we were testing the athletes, I know on a weekly basis, but I'm not sure if we still are or not. But I can find that information out. And as far as becoming a contractor for like COVID testing, is that what the question asked?
Yes, a provider, the contract with CCPS for COVID testing. So pretty much how to do business with CCPS.
Okay. They can leave their email and I can get their information back to them. But I don't have the information right now. But I'm doing business with Clayton County. You have to register with Clayton County and everything, but I can send them an email if they put it in there.
Yes, and it's on the business services website. So if you go to Clayton County Public Schools, you click on departments, you go to business services, and they have a whole list of tabs about how to do business with Clayton County Public Schools, signing up, how to be a vendor, and the training that they did in October. That PowerPoint is on that site. And our Madam Chair is on Facebook and she's responded. And she said, we are testing within our schools.
Okay, for the athletes you're talking about?
Yes, she said, we are testing within our schools.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that all the questions?
Yes, those are all the questions that I see so far, mostly now. And someone suggested maybe starting a pen pal program to help with students and their mental health and wellness. And I believe, Ms. Williams, you all, the board, have been doing some pen pals as well.
Yes, we have some. I'm not sure, who started the program, but yes, we do have. So we're open to more, or they can be passed around to other, people in the district or adults that want to write, and they can just, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, and so those are all the questions that we have so far that we have at this time.
All right. Anybody else on here have any questions, anything they want to say? Anybody? No.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ms. Williams, we do have a few people that have raised their hands,
Okay.
or someone that has raised their hands. Let's see who that is.
I'll see if Ms. Taylor wanted to say anything.
Esther Hardy, Okay, Ms. Hardy, if you could go ahead and put your question or comment in the chat, and we'll share it, please. I see that your hand is raised.
Did you want to say anything, Ms. Taylor, about the student behavioral health awareness? About what you do exactly?
I do. I just want to, number one, thank you all tonight for the opportunity and everything that I've heard. Ms. Jayla, I want to call you personally to ask you to be a student Spark champion. We have champions in each school, parent champions, student champions, adult champions, and what we do is make sure that you are properly trained, you have the right information to be an advocate for mental health in your building. And so we have a newsletter, it has a scan code. Ms. Lawrence, look for that. You can contact your school psychologist at your school, Ms. Ashley Hill, and she'll be able to give you that barcode. Just like Dr. Lee shared, we have after school groups that are offered to all of our students. That same barcode that I mentioned in that group chat that I put in the text, in the chat there, the website, you're able to sign up for free groups. Mental health groups, wellness groups, mindfulness. We have art therapy by a board certified art therapist that happens 2 Thursdays out of the month. So there are a lot of resources that are free at no cost for you to join. Last thing I want to say is we do have, through our behavior interventionists, that department, caring professionals, the CAB. And so that is adults in every building that students are able to go and check in with on a daily basis to be able to share. So Jayla, I want to share with you so you can share with your peers. There are CABs, there's the Spark framework. There are people who are here daily to talk to you and give you resources. Last thing, and I'm going to stop talking. I'm like, Chief, I can talk forever about something I like. We are launching the Thrive Zone, which means in Clayton County, we are going to identify every school as a zone where the adults are trained and are able to listen and are able to know what confidentiality means when students share their information. So look for that visual. And just thank you again for the opportunity. I hope that you guys contact us so that we can work with you.
Thank you for the information.
Ms. Williams,
yes.
This is Hambrick. I have a request from Jayla and all the other panel members too. From time to time, I like to get some of our youth involved in the community and all. We have a youth commission that's been very successful over the years. It was something started some years ago with Commissioner Gregory before she passed, well, years before she passed. But anyway, it's called the Youth Commission, and they compete with other youth commissions throughout the state. And for the last 4 or 5 years, ever since they've been in existence, to be honest with you, they have been like the top commission throughout the state. Now, those are the kind of things we don't hear about from Clayton County, but they have scored very high. And this year, I've had problems trying to find kids from the high schools that I represent, which is North Clayton High School, Forest Park High School, and Drew High School. As a matter of fact, the last person we had from Drew High School went on to Savannah State University, ended up being Miss Savannah State, and I mean, just achieving and all. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's working for the Clayton County school system now. So I'm always looking for kids to do that, and also for summer jobs that we offer with the rec centers and all. So if Jayla, if you would contact me, I sure would appreciate it. You can go on the website and give me a call, please. I would definitely like to talk with you, and if you can direct me to some other students and all, so we can be represented. I've had problems, to be honest with you. I work very well with Ms. Rice at North Clay Middle School, Oliver, principal, and principal over at West Clay, but it's been hard for me to get into North Clayton High School. You know, my parents that I knew well, kids have graduated and all. So I would also like to get in touch with your mom, Jayla, so if I can find some of those parents that are out of North Clayton High School. So if you would pass that on, I sure would appreciate it. But, you know, let's talk.
I will definitely give you a call, because I actually am interested in doing something like that. And I think we just got our student government back up and running this year. So we have a couple of presidents and vice presidents for our different grade levels that would be interested in doing that too.
Great, I would love that. for the ones that I've had in the past years, they have represented well, which I'm very proud of. So District 2 has been well represented other than the last 2 years. I haven't been able to find anybody. So thank you very much.
Thank y'all for all the information today. And when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. I'd like to post up the information on how to contact us. Of course, we have our Clayton County website. And then we have our own phone that's answered by Ms. Shantara, our board coordinator. It's right here, 770-473-2709. Or you can send me an email. If you have any issues or anything going on at the school, your first contact is through the school. Your teachers, the counselors, administration, principals try to resolve your issues at the school level first. And then after that, contact the deputy superintendent or the superintendent before emailing one of the board members. And thank you for your time. I have, let's see, we have time for one question. Let's see. Would you tell me that the ask, Ms. Shantara, hold on.
Miss Hardy, she put her question in. She said, my question is, the place where the bus driver stopped to pick up the kid is too close to the road. Is there no way the bus driver come into the street? And then question 2, is there any way they can send a message to Class Dojo to notify the parents?
Okay, can they send me an email about what bus driver, what school they're talking about, so we can get us somebody to contact?
So, Ms. Hardy, we're putting Ms. Victoria Williams' contact in the chat, as well as the phone number to our office.
I would like to thank Ms. Taylor for putting the Clayton County Government Information website. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
I have one question I asked, if you can put the answer in the chat box for a gift card that you can come pick up on Wednesday, next Wednesday, because they're closed, Monday and Tuesday. If someone type in 2 ways the district is keeping the students safe, put the answer into the chat box.
Ms. Williams, did you say the school, what's closed on Monday and Tuesday?
The school is closed on the 14th to 15th.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any answers, 2 ways that the county is keeping our students safe?
And what's the prize again, Ms. Williams?
It is a $25 gift card.
And the second recipient of your gift card is who?
Miss Shayla Lawrence, for participation. They come pick up a gift card on Wednesday. And you said the first person that signed up was, you have the information?
No.
Not that logged on, that signed up for the meeting.
Yes, but on another document. So
Okay, we'll reach out to them.
And so, Jayla, we'll bring your gift card over to North Clayton High School, because we want to shake your hands.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all. If nobody has anything else, do we have any answers for the question? I don't see any answers. Okay, well, thank everybody.
I see 2 participants are raising their hands. They want to answer to get the gift card.
Okay, they got my answer.
Go ahead and type it into the question or the chat.
Well, thank everybody for giving your time and for valuable information. Dr. Lee, Chief Trawick, Ms. Walker, Ms. Hambrick, Ms. Gabasaw. Does she have any questions in the Spanish interpreter group? No, okay. And Ms. Taylor and Ms. Lawrence.
Well, thank you, Ms. Victoria.
You're very welcome, and thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate it.
Awesome work. Awesome
Thank
work.
you for the opportunity. Good night, everyone.
Welcome. Good night.
Great job, Jayla.
Thank you.